Woodworkers. It's a cold day in Kansas right here, so got the whole jacket on and everything. Today what we're going to do is build another jig. So in the Jig Series that I've got going, it seems, we're going to build a Juice Groove Jig. There's so many ways to do this. Don't take my way as, Bible, but there are simple ways that include just like double-sided tape and some scrap wood, all the way up to kind of what I'm doing today, which is like a permanent multi-use jig. And so it's a super simple jig to make. I'm going to say for this one, we can do it under $25. I'll be a little bit safer here and say under 30. We're going to build this Juice Groove Jig for under 30, and that's because of some of the hardware we're going to use. So I picked up a 2x4 handy panel, 3/4 inch plywood, and then this is the hardware that you'll need. So you need these threaded inserts, and then you need some turn knobs, and you can make your own turn knobs. You can do whatever you want. So these are a little bit bigger. I think they're 1 5/8. I would have used 1 1/4, but they were out of the threaded insert 1 1/4 size at my local hardware store. So I just went with the next size up, 1 5/8. So we're going to get started by ripping it down 4 24-inch pieces, or 27 I think I decided to do, and then 18-inch pieces for the sides, and then we'll go from there because I haven't quite figured it out yet. Let's get this ripped. All right, once we've got all our side pieces cut, the next part is pretty simple. So you just decide where you want your juice groove to go in relation to the board. So I got a piece of scrap here, and I'm going to say I want my juice groove for these larger boards 3/4 of an inch in. You can adjust this later. So we're going to say 3/4 right there. We'll get our triangle and just mark that outside. Then we've got our router with the bullnose kind of round bit already pre-installed. And then you want to line your offcut, your scrap up with it. So say that's about square right there. Yeah, we'll call that square. Probably help if I squared this up. There we go. Okay. Move that off to the side. And then you're going to measure from your cut, so about 1.5 inches. Okay, so that's pretty lucky. Or sorry, 2.5 inches. Okay, so that's the purpose of doing that, is because if we just put our cut right against it, when we put our router against it, it's going to move it in that 2.5 inches. So then my juice groove would be about right here in the board, and that's way too far in. So we need a scrap piece of wood that this is going to rest on to kind of be like a barrier, a guide rail. I'm not using the right words. You'll see what I mean once I cut them. So let me cut down some strips to 2.5 inches. All right, so this part is pretty critical, but I think it's a little confusing, unfortunately. I had to watch the video guide that I'm using to build this like 10 times to really understand what's going on. Okay, so this is the part of the video where I pause what I was going to show you on camera, and instead I just went ahead and made a picture so that you guys can understand, color-coded to the cut list. So go ahead and lay your pieces out as such, right? And the overhang that you see on the pink boards between the yellow is not super important where you put them. You could honestly put them all flush against each other, so that's totally fine. But it was just a super confusing kind of explanation and hard to portray. So after you've laid your pieces out like this, then you're going to use this animation to line up your rail guides with the bottom pieces. So just notice where I have each one flush and which one is overhanging. That's all that you need to do, and everything will line up just right. All right, so now we have to cut the plunge cut for the actual slot, which will hold our knob and our quarter or inch and 5/8 or 5/8 inch bolt. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. This is kind of a confusing build. I just lined up all my pieces and I pushed them in a little bit so there's overhang on each side, as you can see, so that I'm not cutting right at the edge of the piece of the wood here. But anyways, you just kind of pick a choice for you. I went with what would give me the widest I could do a board, which is just under 13 inches because my planer maxes out at 13 inches, right? Anyway, so then I just marked on the edge of this board, and I marked about a foot in because I don't think I'll ever do a board smaller than that. So I'll do my plunge cut from there, and you want your plunge cut to be a little bit higher, but you'll see that in a minute. All right, so it's time to cut the slots into all of our rail guides. So to do that, I just marked start and stop on each one of my pieces since I won't be going through all the way. And then I lined up the edge of the router bit with where I best guess the start and stop would be, and put some green tape down. So I've never done this before. I've always been able to use like the fences and stuff that come with the router because well, I don't really know why, but I've never done it before. So I'm just going to do it in like kind of third increments, a 1/4 inch at a time, taking a 1/4 inch material out like you would if you were routing down. This time we're routing up, right? So we'll see how it goes. Just don't let your hand get anywhere near that bit. It's the best advice I got for you. All right, once you've got all your slots cut, it's time to drill the holes for our threaded insert. So I just put everything back together as it would sit in the jig, lined up the two pieces, and then I took my 5/16 bit, since I've got 5/16 threaded inserts, put it through the slot towards the middle of this 3/4 inch piece, and just kind of dug it in there so I could get a nice point where I need to put the bit to drill. So now we're going to do a test piece just to make sure using a 5/16 bit isn't too wide in diameter so that the threaded insert won't actually catch anything. So we'll give that a shot, go down to 1/4 inch if we need. Okay, so in typical woodworking fashion, nothing goes right ever. So I did get 5/16 threaded inserts, but what happens when you use 5/16 threaded inserts is it's really a 1/2 inch around. 5/16 is the size of the threaded insert. So when I tried to put a 1/2 inch round threaded insert into a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, it just blew it out. Plus, I don't even have anything big enough to put that thing in. So I gave it a shot. But what I think actually works out, and what I just tried, and it's I would recommend using 1/4 inch again for all this 1/4 inch threaded inserts, 1/4 inch bolts, all that good stuff. They just didn't have them at the hardware store, of course. I'm going to drill out with a 1/4 inch bit the hole, and then I'll just thread the knobs into the wood. And it won't hold forever, but it'll do until I can get some actual threaded inserts. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so now we're just gonna nail together our jig, brad nail and glue. So I made a little jig here just so I could make repeatable glue ups. And then I've got my brad nailer out, so pass that in front of the camera so it'll knock you over. And we'll get to it. All right, so here it is all finished up, and we've got it around a test piece. This is just some plywood, so it's not going to make a great cut, but we'll give it a shot with some scrap that we got. So a lot of lessons learned building this thing. Before I get into the test, I've never even cut a juice groove, so this is just going to be a whole lot of firsts for everything. The first thing is I would probably not use plywood. I would use pine for these side rails, just because as you're drilling in your threaded insert, especially if you use a threaded insert that's wider than this quarter inch bit that I used, and just threaded in the 5/16 screws or bolts, it kind of debonds and splits this plywood. You can see it like right here. And if in one area real bad over here where there was already like some debonding going on. So I would mention that, and then I I did some math wrong. So the final build plans will reflect correctly what size these all need to be. But I had to make some like after the fact cuts, which didn't turn out as great as I would like them to. I'll probably redo this with some pine as I'm saying that. But yeah, I mean, this works for now. So let's go ahead and cut a test piece and let's see what happens. All right, so there you have it, the juice groove. I only went like a quarter of an inch deep. You could go deeper, you could go shallower, up to you. Mainly because this is just a scrap piece and I want to kind of verify the function of the jig, not so much make a clean juice groove. It came out pretty good, especially on the right side here. The left side got a little bit wonky right in this corner, and I think I know what it was from. You can rewind a little bit and see if you can see it on the camera, but in the, let's see if I can pull this over. In this part of the jig here, as it came around, so much sawdust had accumulated that it made like a little pile right here, and it kind of pushed the, like added a little bit of depth between the router base and the guide rail, which obviously, you know, it's supposed to be flush up against. So I think that was the issue with that. To mitigate that, you could stop right here, take a vacuum, suck out, and then get back to doing it. You know, there are numerous ways. So I think that's the only issue with that. Other than that, it came out pretty good. Nice straight lines and nice round corners, which is what you want when using the bullnose bit there. So yeah, that is a juice groove jig. All right, team. So the project is done. And I will say that while I set out with what I intended to do, right, what I announced at this video, beginning of this video, it's been a long day. I was going to make a juice groove jig for under $30. And we did do that. Honestly, probably under $20 since I only ended up using the knobs for hardware and they were like $1 each. So you can do it too. However, this is one of those builds that I will say I could do better and I will do better. So this is probably version 1 of this Juice Groove Jig, and it will not be the final version. I kind of covered a lot this video, and it might have seemed like it was a mess. I don't know how the end video is going to come out because I used animations and things like that I've never used before, but it seemed to me like the best way to explain this to you. I wouldn't tackle this build without build plans like I did. I saw somebody do it on YouTube, and I thought I could do that too just by following along, but there just wasn't enough information and not enough for me to interpolate from, to bring out from, and make the right cuts and everything like that. So I'm offering up some build plans. We'll see how it goes. I've never done that before, but I've made some. I'll include the correct cuts with what I've modified to work. And if you follow that and you follow the animations, you should be good to go. Now, here's the next tip that I think you should do, and what I will do on this version 2 that I make. You can make the bottom rails out of the 3/4 inch plywood. In fact, I'd recommend it. It's cheap, and you probably have some scrap laying around the shop. However, for the side rails, I would get some like cheap pine or poplar from the hardware store, and do that just because of the way this is bonded. And you're going to be putting in those threaded inserts like right in between that bond. And it's probably almost impossible. It's not, but almost impossible to not split those bonds. And then you won't, it just won't work properly. It won't grab as nicely. So that's what I recommend. But yeah, like I said, it worked. I made it happen. You could make it happen, and you could do it better than I did it. So please, if you do this and you take my suggestions using hardwood or even softwood, for the rail guides themselves, let me know how it went, guys. But really, that's all I got for today. This is a super useful jig. You can use it for years to come, especially if you get it right your first try, maybe even your second try like me. But it'll be a useful jig, especially if you're batching out cutting boards and things like that, where you want a juice groove jig. It's been such a long day. Then you can use this one to fit all shapes and sizes of boards and things like that. So guys, this has been 5 o'clock Woodshop. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment for more.